Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is our community open call, our monthly community open call. We are in August, our August session. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you doesn't know, our community open call is a place that we can discuss and share and talk about all things Rocket Chat on a fun and friendly way. Today, we have here with us our Christopher Scully, our Vice President of Product. Hello, Christopher. Nice.
Yeah.
Singly is about to join too, and also Douglas, so don't worry about that. We're going to have them. As you probably know, we are going to be talking here today about our apps engine. And if you doesn't know about the apps engine, you're going to learn about it today. But it's basically a framework that we have here at Rocket.Chat. So developers can create self-contained apps that are able to expand the functionalities of Rocket.Chat, and then you have a variety of features that you can use and do some integrations and with all sorts of external systems. So today we're going to take a look on that, talk with Douglas, which is our main engineer about that. And also we're going to have a new initiative that we have. We're going to unleash to publish that, and we hope to have you together with us developing. So if you develop and you are already develop apps, or if you want to learn more about it, please join us. It's going to be a very fun initiative. uh, okay, so today, so some quick announcements. So we have here, probably, let me see if Singly is able to join already. Hello, Sing. Not yet. I think he's configuring the microphone. Okay, so upcoming events here, we are going to have Latinoware in November the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. I'm going to be there, so if you are around here, the event is going to be both hybrid. It's going to be hybrid, both online and physical. So if you want, we're probably going to have the link here. So it's a nice event. It's a 3 days event. The first day is very for beginners, and then it gets more complex over the days. And you have, if you are a beginner, or if you are a seasoned developer or user, please join this event. It's a very special event. Also, we have some jobs opening as always. So please, if you consider, if you're looking for a challenging opportunity, if you uh, are looking, please consider looking to Rocket Chat. We have our website here, jobs.rocket.chat, and we have a lot of openings. Take a look on that. It's going to be awesome to have you here. We have a lot of users that we got here at Rocket Chat from our community. So if you know Rocket Chat already, if you know the code base, or if you know the other technology that surrounds Rocket Chat, feel free and more than encouraged to apply yourself. And also, we still keep our beta testers, so we are going to have soon the new version released. So before the new versions are released, we have the release candidate tag for Docker. So if you use Rocket Chat, if you like experimenting the new features, it's a nice thing to have to, so you can install it. And we have a community there, some group of people that are actively testing, so we can increase the quality on the released version. So it's very nice. Please join us there. And also, if you didn't had the opportunity, if you didn't see the last sessions, we have our YouTube channel. So not only the past sessions, the previous sessions here from the our open community call, but we also have a new initiative that we have, that is the Rocket Lab. So Rocket Lab is about some initiatives from our community, some technical contents, and a lot of other stuff that we are doing, some webinars. So there's both the playlist there for the community open call, and also the Rocket Lab. Okay, I think those are the notes that we have for today. And so, Christopher, what you got for us today?
Yeah, thanks, Dudo. So let me provide a few updates on what's happening with the platform overall. Sorry if you guys are picking up a little bit of background noise on my end here. Um, So as everyone knows, the 5.0 release launched last month. Definitely a big milestone for us. A lot of new capabilities relating to video conferencing, Matrix Federation, and VoIP, and quite a few other items. So with such a large release going through, as I think I had mentioned on the call last month, our intention and what we're now following through on is to really be focusing on quality and maturity curve items over the next couple of months. So that's what we've been doing. That's what we'll be continuing to do to provide a little bit of context in terms of what that means. I'll provide a few examples. So first of all, kind of quality. Some of those items are relating to kind of user reported issues that we're closing out. The 5.1 release candidate will be available soon. And if you review the release notes, you'll see a number of issues being resolved. We're also continuing to improve certain things from an architecture perspective. So the migration to TypeScript is continuing and in fact accelerating at this point. And then also as we proceed, we are converting some remaining Blaze components to React on the front end. So our messages rewrite is a good example of that. So we converted to React components for our core messaging components in the last release. And we are refining a few of those things with the upcoming 5.1 release. A third example in terms of quality maturity curve is relating to microservices. So as people probably know, the microservices scaling capabilities have had a beta tag on them for quite some time. We've been very cautious in terms of proving out the capabilities, make sure we're getting the results that we want. And that beta tag will be coming off shortly, which is a great option in terms of scaling your workspaces. So a number of those different things. As we think about maturity curve, just to give a couple more examples. On the Matrix Federation side, with the launch, and it's been received very, very well, we are following up with continuing to expand the number of events that we support for federated communications, things like file attachments, et cetera. So the team is hard at work on those. And in 5.1 and 5.2, everyone will see a fairly considerable expansion in terms of the number of events covered under Matrix Federation. And then lastly, to give a final example, our importers. So what I see as a point of good news is that we're seeing more and more requests to use our importers from other messaging platforms such as Slack. Because of the nature of some of the other platforms like Slack, those importers can be brittle at times. So we've decided to dig into a full rewrite of those capabilities, again, since they're being used more and more right now, which I think reflects people's interest in migrating to Rocket.Chat. We're going through a full rewrite that will add some more flexibility and more stability. So those quality maturity curve items are really at the core of our focus right now. A couple other things though that I want to highlight because it ties into due to your theme of the day in terms of App.Engine and apps. We have a couple of additional tracks that the team is making very good progress on. First, we are beginning to significantly expand our inventory of apps within our marketplace. And that's really a two-pronged effort. One path, of course, is that we are building out apps. The core team is publishing apps, creating apps. And then the second prong of this, of course, is third parties, members of the community, customers, others, creating apps and publishing them to the marketplace. So to give a little bit of a flavor of the momentum that's building, we've recently published a WhatsApp sandbox app that anyone can use free of charge to test out and get comfortable with using WhatsApp as an external omni-channel communication channel. Um, Secondly, Google Drive will be launching shortly. Really cool app that takes advantage of some of the new capabilities of App.Engine that Doug will be talking about. And then in addition, I want to highlight three others that are coming soon. That really are a slightly different variety. We have a number of existing integrations and feature sets within the core platform that we're moving to apps. That's a really positive development. That moving those existing capabilities to apps, they're still available to everyone to use, but it provides a better avenue for us in terms of managing the overall code base. We end up with a leaner code base. We end up with fully encapsulated features that are easier then to contribute to. And three specific areas that we're going after initially are our SMS integration, our email channel, and our Zapier integration will each move to apps. So again, same capabilities. It gives us the ability actually to then expand on the capabilities of those integrations, and cleans up our code base in the process. So that's something that's starting to happen. Again, each of those are taking advantage of the now significantly expanded App.Engine capabilities. Okay. And then lastly, not to take up too much of your time, Duda, App.Engine continues to be built out. We continue to add tools to the toolkit. So there are some key items that are coming up. Doug will probably touch on a few of these, including the ability for App.Engine to interact with the full Rocket.Chat UI kit. Gives you access to an expanded number of front-end components that App.Engine can use and leverage in your app's development. So those are some of the highlights. Like I said, we're focused on quality and maturity curve rather than feature expansion right now. And then also we're continuing to take key feature sets, move them to apps, and also expand the App.Engine capabilities and the core team apps inventory. So hopefully that's a good overview. Hopefully, Dude, also that gives a good lead into your topic for the day.
Yeah, this is very good. And as you can see, the App.Engine put itself as a very important component. And what we want, especially because we can never try to imagine what our community or what can be built with the App.Engine, right? So this is very important because the community will have a lot of possibilities. They will try to fix those stuff or implement or extend some features. So the community here is very important, that to show us where we can improve the App.Engine, where we can develop more or give other kind of hooks, or so maybe you want to do something when the user logins, and now I think there is a new hook for that. So this is some kind of examples that the community and the app developers are always pointing places or on where we can expand and better cover all these usage cases.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's very, very good, Chris, and we are very excited for that. And for example, the UI possibility. We recently had someone asking something like, "Oh, if I have an XML and I want to proper render that by my own, how we can do that?" And then we do have a limitation from the App.Engine right now. I'm not sure if the limitation, but it does not affect the user interface, right? It only runs into the server, and all this kind of rendering, it should count on the UI elements that we have in place. But this will open to a lot of other possibilities.
Yeah, and I think you also touched on a couple important themes there. Again, we'll continue to add triggers that App.Engine can interact with, and we'll continue to add, again, the UI kit elements that can be leveraged. The great thing about app development, just to add another plug here, is App.Engine is in the encapsulation of an app, provides a low risk sandbox area to extend the capabilities of Rocket.Chat. And the reason it's so important, as Duda was saying, is there are plenty of possibilities that we certainly haven't thought of. That's the advantage of having such a broad user base. We certainly encourage people to bring their different use cases to life using App.Engine app development because it's a low risk way of being able to build without getting into core code and customizations that, when submitted as a PR, would potentially conflict with other things that we're doing. So, thanks, everyone.
Oh yeah, so to talk about that, let's invite here our own Douglas Gubert. Just send the invitation here. He's getting ready. Uh, okay, hello Douglas. How are you today?
Hello, folks. Doing good. What about you? Can you hear me? I don't see
Yes,
any.
you're
Okay, good.
you're great. You're good to go. So
Awesome.
Douglas is our backend developer here, manager. He's the app guy. All the questions that I have, all the doubts I have, I usually go to Douglas, and he's doing a great job. And now we are going to be talking here about the apps engine and what are the new features. And if you hit a wall, if maybe you have some feature that you're not finding, what we can do and all that. So Douglas, please.
All right. Okay. I think like you guys touched a bit on those features we've mentioned, and I want to go on start with what Chris said, like focusing on quality. For us right now, this means also more of the performance side of the apps engine, which is why we are enabling the apps engine to working towards enabling the apps engine to work with microservice architecture. Currently, like this is not possible. The apps engine itself is too too attached to the core server or and how all the infrastructure of the process, and we're working on extracting that from the core so that we can manage the apps engine service uh, in a more isolated manner. This will give us more independence in the sense of managing process, managing resources. Uh, I won't delve too deep on it because this is like more of a general microservice concept thing, but that's why we're heading towards that. It's not an easy initiative. There are a lot of details that we gotta take a look at, but it's definitely something that's very interesting to be working on the engineering side, and something that will definitely improve the view, the experience on like larger communities and deployments of Rocket.Chat. Uh, Also on the expansion of the UI kit usage, just contextualizing UI kit, our block building interface. Technically, we call it a protocol, but too techy. But it's that's the way we use to interact with the UI via our own fuselage design system. And so currently, what happened is like this UI kit initiative. It started on the Apps Engine, then it moved uh, parallel to these fuselage design system. And what happened now? We have like these two parallel separate components that they like. If there is an update on one of them, the other is not automatically updated. So it kind of like we are in the situation where we have to manage this parity, and the initiative we're going through is for the Apps Engine to actually use the same definitions that are on our on the fuselage, which will allow us to not have to do this parity manually, and we'll then be able to go ahead and just use the same type definitions that are being updated there. This allows us to go further with components that are already in the UI kit and but not available for the apps engine via the types, and also will like it's kind of like allow us to in moving forward we don't have to wait for updates to to use the new elements that are made available in future updates. So this is like something that is Mike's finally working. Yeah, for Zing. Uh, so this is definitely something that will allow us to move forward there.
Yeah, just a note here, Douglas. I sent. We had the UI kit team here a couple open calls later. So if you want to learn more about the UI kit, you have this. And if you go to our YouTube channel on the playlist there for the open community, you have all that. So you can have a better understanding about the fuselage. Sorry.
Oh, good. I always like always try to balance like okay what exactly should I contextualize here or but good. That's good to have all those straight out. I think what else can I say? Like our features, like from we've been working lately in the last few months, are were really like inspired by our kind of like app development front. So as Chris said before, we were working to get more apps out in our marketplace to make our inventory bigger, and in order to achieve that, we identified some key features that were lacking or that needed more flexibility there, and these were kind of like fed back to the apps engine so that we can uh, overcome this lacking of features to allow for the apps to be published. I think cool examples for those are like the new not that new right now, but like the apps being able to open the contextual bar, the right
Yeah, that was
sidebar.
good.
Yeah, this came from like this perception of how we will integrate or provide functionalities with our apps. Uh, a new event on the UI that allows us to provide this kind of like search experience where you type inside a text input. This triggers an event, and then you can populate your view with updated a list of filtered items. This new event that Chris mentioned, like on the on login for user login, user created, like these new updated events are also like some things we identified for the Zapier app that we are going to be migrating. So yeah, currently we're going through that route. We're identifying okay, what are the apps that we're going to put in the marketplace, and what are the capabilities that we need to have to support those apps. And this is our strategy for identifying new features for now, for at least for the short term, and like while we handle this microservice situation as well. So like this is what's going on currently, and yeah, I maybe lost track of time here. So do if you
No, it's
could.
okay. It's good. So, for example, I because of that, and then the app idea came after this new hook event. So, for
Mm,
example, the user creation and the user logging. One app that because I used for a long time the Mautic software. So Mautic is a very cool open source software
mm,
that does all kinds of uh, marketing automation and everything. So with this
yeah.
new hook, for example, I'm already speculating and planning and confabulating to create an app that will integrate with Mautic. So whenever you get a
Mm,
new user, or whenever a user enters, or for that matter, whenever the user enters a new channel, you can create this
mm,
content in Mautic. Or maybe, for example, if you have a you're building a community and you have a lot of channels. So whenever this user enters a new channel, you can put that in Mautic. So Mautic works with a lot of segments. So you can create like segments. So I want to send a message to, oh, there's the link here for Mautic. Thank you, Flores. For example, I want to select users that are both on this channel and that other channel. Then you can do that in Mautic and send messages or direct message to the users. And also, as we are integrating with Mautic, the idea is also to have, whenever we have an omni-channel, and for that, it doesn't do we have omni-channel hooks, right? You can use that. For example, when there's a new
New
omni-channel.
live, yeah, omni-channel interaction. Yes, like we have this specific hooks. Yes.
Yeah, and one idea that's probably a hook, like a live request here for feature, is that because live chat does have a feature that whenever there's an email that is typed on the chat, it will identify that email. So it would be nice to have, like, whenever the email is identified, to have a hook there so you can update Mautic. But yeah, so that's the idea that sometimes the app idea will come after the feature, or maybe the feature will come after the app idea. And that's what we want to call for help from our community, because we want you guys using and stretching it to the limit so we can understand where we can improve that, right? um, yeah, that's very interesting, that's very good. And as I said on our last open call, I never been, and let me see if I get, because singly here, so I was always kind of a Python developer, and Node for me, especially TypeScript and all that, is a little bit intimidating first. But I was able to create my app like really, really. It's a simple app. I'll try to demo it here, and I was able to create that, and it was very easy. I had some problems, I think and then there is another that we are going to show you here. So what I will do, I will share my screen here. Let me see if but we can. Okay, it's the right screen. Yeah. Okay. So here's a installation that I have. You guys are seeing the screen, right? So
Yep.
uh, let me create a new channel here, just to create a new one. So I created this Chuck Norris application. So you probably doesn't know, but there's a Chuck Norris Io API. So the idea is to be something very silly, but there are some options here to, like, having a random or some categories and everything. So the idea is to create. I had was to create an app that was going to interact with this API and trying to use all the possibilities. Uh, because as I was learning, uh, that was the idea. So we have here. So for example, if you call just Chuck Norris, it's going to get uh, a random joke from this API. And if you go here, for example, Chuck Norris, for example, search like Rocket, you're going to have the contextual menu that Douglas was talking about. So it's going to search for the term here, Rocket, and then there's 15 jokes here that I can select one of those. And also we can do like Chuck Norris categories, and then it's going to show us initial categories and other categories. So, and also there's some settings that I was using in order to try to uh, because on this app here there's explicit jokes, so you can have, I created an option to do that. So that's the idea. It's a very simple app, as I told you. So for example, if you want, there it's here on our GitHub. So feel free to check out the code, and we are going to move that probably to the main repo. And the other initiative that we are doing here is the Demo.App. Okay, so the idea of the Demo.App is to have, it's under development, and the idea is to create that collaboratively with everybody that wants to learn how to develop an app, or wants to uh, help, or already knows how to develop an app, or maybe wants to get what's the best practices for developing and all that. So this it's already here at the main repo from our organization here. And the idea is to have you guys helping here. I'm going to develop, I already have the settings. So how to monitor settings change, and some loggings and all that. So the idea is to have all the others features that the App Engines offers. And then we are going to grow these And so the idea is to have the app doing crazy stuff, maybe like, oh, you can create a slash command that's going to do some scheduling, or maybe create an endpoint that's going to do something, or presenting some buttons, presenting some modals, some contextual menus, and all that. So that's the idea. Let me stop my screen sharing
Yeah,
here.
and to kind of emphasize the importance of this. Apps Engine has been expanding pretty rapidly, and so the way to think of the demo app is it's sample code. So all of these new ways that Apps Engine can interact with core capabilities will be illustrated in the demo app. It can be a great accelerator as you work on your own projects. So it's due to it's a great initiative.
Yeah. So hope we expect some PRs here. And if you doesn't know how to develop an app, or if you want to learn how to do that, please join us. We have I forgot to put here. Let me put. We have an apps directory here in our open server. Feel free to reach us there. Let me send here. I'll send it here in the chat, and I'll leave all those links also here on the Chuck Norris. So Young Hindi is like in the Chuck Norris. So if you want, for example, maybe we can do a pool of apps. So maybe you have an idea for an app, and you does not know how to develop that, or you does not want to develop an app, just have the idea. So the idea is to have this community of developers. So you can throw your idea there, and maybe someone wants to develop that, or maybe you can have this kind of initiative, right? So feel free to join us there on the channel, and you're going to learn how to do that. I'm going to be there as always to do that. Very nice. So any
So,
other things that you want to add, uh, Douglas or Singh?
uh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we
No.
can.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, that was that. I think the Chuck Norris app is a great app to show off how you can integrate an external subsystem that is could be very complex, right? I mean, do the choose Chuck Norris sites and joke search, but obviously you can connect to your own CRM external huge system and bring in some of that functionality inside the chat so that when you're collaborating with your friends and workmate, maybe that it can facilitate your collaboration. Now that side of our app engine is supreme. There is nothing that actually will block you from creating any of these type of integration app of this pattern, and that's very cool. Now the other app that Duda has actually shown is actually going to show you what like our capability with the apps engine up to today is. And we know that we are extremely weak in apps that actually will extend features inside Rocket.Chat. Specifically, even with some of the UI expression, we're very, very weak in the ability to express additional UI in stream with the chat. And hopefully some of your apps application and some of your app that you actually create and submit will push that limit, because we're definitely looking for input from the community in order to kind of break through that limit, become more, making the app platform more of an extension mechanism for Rocket.Chat features, as well as those textual integration that you see that's like the Chuck Norris app. So I think that hopefully this sends a message out to the app developer community that we already actually have, although it's small. Hopefully we'll be able to grow it like, into the future. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can promise you it's very easy. I thought on the beginning. I was like, oh, it's maybe a little difficult, but I was able to do that in 1 hour. I had the app already running, and I could install it. So if you want to join this journey, come with us. That's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, so I think, let me see. The thing, as you know, we have the our community member of the month. However, I made contact with a few of them. and the majority of them was not able to confirm. So I'm looking here at the list of users for today, and we does not have uh, they are not here. But we promise you to bring those admirable contributors here, and we are not going to give spoilers. I'm holding it here for the next session, and I think that's it for today. It's a very brief session, and we have probably Singly want to talk about the demo day that we're doing for the GSOC. We're
Yeah,
closing on the date, right?
it's very exciting. I hope all the mentors that may be watching, I hope some mentors are watching, is already getting ready for the demo day. It's a very big day. Now, do we have a date for that? I think
Yeah,
one of the
probably the
things that
end
we
of
need
this
to,
month.
yeah, well, we want to kind of have that stay solid since we're kind of middle of the month. So let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that. Like after this meeting, we'll anchor down the dates. We'll get the poster done, and then we'll kind of circulate the information to anybody who may be watching and is interested in like what exactly the Google Summer Code contributors are doing. It is extremely exciting, and it's going to be probably, I don't know, half a day. Do you think like maybe half a
yeah,
day
yeah,
worth
probably.
of
We have,
serial
especially this year, that
live.
we have a lot of projects, right? It's
Yes,
a huge amount of
serial
projects.
live presentation of each of the projects, so that you don't have to go out and search for yourself. Within that half day, you're going to be able to see all the amazing things that they're doing. But if you do miss it, I think the whole thing will be recorded, so we should be able to also put it up into YouTube, like the previous demo days or the alumni conference that we had. So that's something that we're looking forward to. Also, it is also the end of term for most UShop projects in about 2 weeks' time. So
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
And also, do we have any questions here uh, from our audience? If you guys have any doubts or questions, please feel free. Let me see. Nobody. Okay, so we are always there on the channel. Our next community open call is scheduled to be in September 21st. It's going to be a pleasure as always to have you guys here. Um, okay, no other questions. No, okay, so that's it, and thank you for participation today, and hope to see you soon. Okay, and bye bye.
Thank you.
See
Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone.
you.
Thanks, Duda.